What are you becoming? And are you going the right way? Hi, I'm Nicolene. I am the Flamekeeper. I'm an energy healer and spiritual coach. All through our lives, we're told that we need to become something. As a child, we go to school and we learn and we try and develop and we accumulate skills. And the teacher asks us, what are you going to become when you grow up? What do you want to become? And some of us say, I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to become a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher. And some of us think, well, I'm really good with my hands, so I'm going to become a tradesperson. I'm going to help people with plumbing or electricity, or I'm going to be an artist. And this is all great, and it's a great way to contribute to society. But what if I told you that we're actually not here to become anything? We're not actually in a process of becoming. We're here on a process of unbecoming. Now, if that sounds counterintuitive to you, let me give you a little story from my own life. I used to work as an art director in advertising, and it was a job I really loved. It was a super creative environment. It was a lot of fun. And I had a wonderful partner who we were sort of on the same wavelength. We could start each other's sentences and kind of finish them, and we just worked really well together. And we had a close friendship. And in this particular agency that we were working in, we were working really, really long hours. We had an extremely difficult account handler to work with and a difficult client. And we were doing sort of 70-hour weeks every week. And we were just plain exhausted, to be honest. And we were also there as a freelance team. We really felt like we had to prove our worth. We were basically, they were keeping us around just as long as we were useful. And as soon as we weren't useful, we were out the door. No more money for us. And so there was this pressure always to perform and to prove your worth. And I actually had a deep feeling of low self-worth throughout my whole life. And this was caused by trauma as a child. But I hadn't worked this out yet at this point. And I wasn't really sure what was going on with me or how to proceed. But what I did know was that I needed to prove my worth. And in order to prove my worth, I would work really long hours, and I would come up with all these crazy ideas, and I would give the creative director about 100 ideas every time I would see him. And one day after doing this, as usual, there was somebody in the agency who was having a birthday, and so they were having birthday cake. And I heard the announcement for birthday cake, and I thought, oh, great. Me and my friend really need a little break. We've just been working so hard. I went off and got her a piece of cake. And when I came back to the room that we were working in, I found that she was crying. And I was so upset. I didn't know what was going on. And Amelia said, what's wrong? What happened? And she said, I just feel like you never give me a chance to speak, that it's always you presenting the ideas to the creative director, and that he thinks all the ideas come from you, and that I'm basically worthless because I'm not contributing anything. And I felt so terrible. I felt so ashamed and so guilty, because obviously that wasn't my intention. We were working together. But I could see that my behavior, my low self-worth, was contributing to this situation, was creating an even more feeling of, an even deeper feeling of low self-worth in her, because I was always speaking up and she wasn't getting the opportunity to. And this is one of an example of how trauma can really affect your relationships, but also the outcome of how people perceive you and so on. And this was something that I needed to lose. I needed to deal with my trauma so that I wasn't affecting others like this. It's just like an analogy of a dirty window, if you like. If there's dirt on the windscreen or on the window of your house, you need to dust it off and clean it, and then the sunshine comes through, right? And this dirt is like the trauma. It's like the layers of things that we pick up on a daily basis. Traumas, emotions, pains, things that we haven't resolved. They're all obscuring who we really are. We need to shed these layers. And this is what I mean by unbecoming. We need to actually start to shed the layers and the pain and the trauma of the things that we've accumulated and not dealt with, so that we can become who we really are. Because who we really are is a spark of God consciousness. We are a spark of unconditional love, pure source, pure spirit. And that is more than enough. It is worth everything. in this world. What you're becoming is actually irrelevant. It's when you begin to strip away what you are not, that is when the true power, your true power, can shine through. And it's also when you can become a true channel. The more that you get rid of, the more that you clean out, clear your energy field, clear those traumas within you, the easier it is to hear spirit and to become centered and actually to align and to allow the flow of spirit to move through you and to speak and to send out your unconditional love without the dramas and the traumas that are stopping that flow. And as you do this, I want you to know that it's okay not to know who you are becoming, because as you go through this process of unbecoming, that is revealed to you and your next step is given to you. And it is always more beautiful and more profound than you can even plan for or hope for. It's all well and good to have plans for your life, but the true beauty and power actually arises when you surrender to the flow of divine spirit and say, I'm here now, God. What would you like to do through me? What would you like me to help with in this earthly plane? What can I do right now? What is most needed? And in this process of letting go and unbecoming, you become more yourself, which is, of course, unconditional love. If this has been helpful for you, please like my video. And if you'd like more hot tips from me, the Flamekeeper, for everyday grounded spirituality, please follow me. Thank you.